how's like summer been going so far in quarantine?
It's going well. The first 2 months, I'm being honest, weren't great. I think in 3 months, honestly, until June, it was pretty bad. It was very boring. Everything was closed. It wasn't until June I started golfing a little bit because there was nothing else to do. Luckily, in July from Maryland, they opened up the gyms a lot, so I've been going almost every day.
Okay.
So trying to get back into the rhythm. But since then, it's been a lot of fun.
I know, yeah, for your spring lacrosse season, it was tough. You guys seemed to be almost getting inching closer to that first victory there in a while, and then the rug was pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? When Coach Ross kind of broke the news to you, unfortunately.
I remember thinking, well, we're a small school. Maybe we'll get lucky. Because I know all the big schools were talking about getting done and cutting it all out. But I was like, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe, we're that 1 in 10 that still goes. And when he told us, he was like, there's still a chance we might come back in April and play some conference games or some non-conference games. And so I was still kind of clinging on to the idea that there's still a chance we could still be playing. But right when I got home, I knew there was no chance we were coming back. And it's really unfortunate because, like you said, we were getting better. Like, this is the best team we've had in a couple of years. And the players, it was all kind of coming together, and we were all trying to mesh, and we definitely could have had a few wins this season.
In terms of staying in shape and lifting and running, I'm assuming you're still kind of doing that. Do you have like a workout plan from Coach and, kind of staying in touch with him?
I've been staying in touch with him, but for me, I've been kind of using my own workout plan like I've been using before, but then kind of went down. I've been coaching with lacrosse and still playing a summer league. So that's been also helping me kind of stay in lacrosse as well and like lacrosse mindset. I just miss playing with the guys, if I'm being honest. I felt kind of, I don't want to say robbed, but I think everybody kind of felt robbed that 2 to 3 months of our season kind of was cut. And I feel really bad for the seniors and for the freshmen whose years got completely taken away from them. And that can really like impact you as a freshman because we didn't play anybody last fall. So you only really got 3 games to kind of get an idea of what college lacrosse is really like. So now you're going in basically as freshmen again because you never really had a full season. So they never really got all the kinks out. So I'm a little concerned, a little worried for them. And I hope they can pick it up kind of quickly. And especially since we don't have a full ball, that's also a little more troubling. So now you got to go in with, you've only played 3 games in 2 years, basically. And it's still going to be as fast, still aggressive, and still intense. And you got to pick it up very quickly. And you're a sophomore now, so you're expected to be at a certain level, at a higher level than freshmen are. But you've had almost the same amount of experience as the freshmen have.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I mean, not only lacrosse, but you look at, baseball and softball too. It's I don't know what they're going to do with moving fall sports to the spring and it'll be a logistical scheduling nightmare from my end and the trainers and just the teams trying to fit in games and practices and of course weather early on. So I hope things start working out and turn into a positive light, but it's tough to remain positive now, but it seems like you're at least, trying to work out, you're going golfing and you're kind of, at least enjoy some times outside. Early on in quarantine, weather was pretty ugly. Were you, gravitating towards any like popular Netflix shows or movies or music you're listening to?
For me, it was Tiger King. It had just come out, so that was the big thing for me. And the show that kind of dominated my quarantine was definitely The Last Kingdom on Netflix. That's definitely been my main show for the last couple months. So yeah.
Nice. What's The Last Kingdom about? I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Basically, it's about the Vikings invading England in like the 800s. It's before medieval times, and it's like the English trying to fight off the Vikings. And it basically comes down to it's one last kingdom, and the kingdom of Wessex trying to hang on against the Danish invaders. And yeah. Okay.
No, I'll have to check it out. I try not to watch too much TV, but if we have another rainy hurricane like we just did, maybe I'll check it out. Yeah. So if you look back on your Keystone kind of career, whether it's playing wise or just campus environment, what's kind of like your favorite memory so far?
My favorite memory is still scoring against Stockton my freshman year. I mean, that team was loaded, and we only had 12 guys on our team, so we were getting. I remember we were getting killed. It was definitely my worst game. Just like score wise, we lost 29-1. I was the only one that scored, so that was my like proud moment. Like, well, we didn't get shut out because of me. And I mean, I tell Coach Ross to put me on offense more often, but I don't know what's going on with that. I have no power over that one. I mean, I've proven it. I can put it in the back of the net. I don't get the support I need. I mean, maybe I should play with Coach Irwin. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh geez. Well, maybe I mean if you net another one, playing defense, maybe you'll have a change of heart.
I think so. I don't know what you're doing. We're struggling. Put me on offense.
I remember that game. Yeah, it was a tough game to
Yeah.
for
I don't know if I would use tough, but I would use a lot of words worse, a lot more words worse than tough. I think.
Yeah, that we can't use.
That's probably yeah. That's probably one of my like least favorite memories for a first half, and then actually I would say 3/4. Probably my least favorite 3/4 I've played my entire life, just because they were constantly having the ball on offense, and we were constantly playing defense for 85% of the game, and we got no breaks. There were no subs at a time. We were only 12 guys, so the little glimmer of hope was I could score a goal. I scored, but that's the only thing I take away from that game. Otherwise, I put that game away, and I don't ever want to think about it again.
Have you been in touch with your teammates? And if so, like, if you guys kind of positive mindset, any kind of like quotes you guys are coming up with or kind of mantras?
No quotes. We're trying to stay really positive because a lot of the guys are a little upset the fall ball got canceled. So we're trying to stay very positive. The positive side is there's more time in the gym now, more time to get stronger, physically stronger, in better shape, and get the right mindset mentally. Now I'm crossing my fingers that we can have captain's practices like without the school. I don't know if that's going to be allowed. I'm kind of hoping that we can get away with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe we go to a park or something and no one really knows about it. I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully we can do something, but I'm not really sure. And just trying to keep the team positive is very difficult at a time like this because of how it's working out right now. Because it's only getting worse and worse. It feels like because it was like, oh, hopefully it'll be gone by August and we'll have football and field hockey, and then that's gone. Well, hopefully there's basketball right now. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Hopefully there's basketball, and then if there's basketball, there will definitely be lacrosse.
Yeah, I know that captain's practice. It's a good idea. Hopefully, it would be like approved, but you'd have to be very social distant and be mindful of each other's spaces and
very careful.
You go for runs on the trolley trail. You could like lift and stuff. You could it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be you got to be very cognizant of what you're doing and what you're touching and what you're cleaning. But I'm sure if you're smart about it, it wouldn't be a huge issue. I think it's mainly the organized practices with pads and hitting and that sort of thing. They're completely like frowning down upon. But as of yesterday, I know they canceled fall championships for Division 3 and Division 2. But no real updates after that. So
we won't find out till September, correct? For spring season, that's what I was
Yeah, that's kind of like the next step for at least the winter sports, and then maybe a little later for spring. But hopefully, we don't have to get down that road.
Cross my fingers.
Yeah. So you live in Maryland, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's are you close to the beach? Are you close to anything like cool to do outside?
So I'm kind of right in like the middle of Maryland. I'm about 30 minutes from DC and 40 minutes from the town from Baltimore.
Okay.
And about 2 hours from the beach. So I'm kind of like in the worst spot. I'm not too close to one, and I'm pretty far from the other. And I mean, don't get it wrong. There's nothing to do in DC. DC is so boring unless you're going out. Well, you can't really go out nowadays. Like the monuments, man. You've seen them once, you've seen them 1,000 times. It's just a picture. It's just It's just a big statue. They're all the same. And I mean, Baltimore is like you can't go anywhere. Like, you can't do anything because and I don't want to wear a mask, but you'd have to. And I mean, the beach. I don't want to get coronavirus. It was full at Ocean City, so it's really kind of like tough right now. Typically, Maryland's like my favorite state, and I love it. But right now, just anywhere is tough.
Yeah. Have you been trying to watch some professional sports on TV, or do you have a favorite team?
I don't. Waiting for football to come back, hopefully. But for basketball, I don't really have a favorite team. I really like Luka Doncic on the Mavericks
Okay.
and Damian Lillard on the Trailblazers. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers that both of them can. I know the Mavericks are the 7th seed. I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that the Trailblazers can slip in at the 8 and take the spot from the Grizzlies. But other than that, I'm not really too interested in sports. Golf's gotten a little more interesting for me, but that's just because I know how difficult it is to play. I'm not a very good golfer, but I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound hard. I've done that.
Have you dabbled in like the disc golf with the frisbee as
No,
well?
no. I can't even do real golf, so I'm not ready for disc golf.
They put up a couple new courses up this way towards Keystone. So
Really?
yeah, there's one in Tunkhannock now at a park, and I think there's one over in Waverly closer to 80.
Gotcha.
So just something to keep in mind if you want to go outside and try to throw a disc around, but it's definitely hard. It's easier. It's a lot easier than it looks. But yeah, I've tried to go out a couple times, but it's it's harder than it looks, not easier than it looks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you watch guys on YouTube and on TV and throwing
it's
this
so easy.
disc like hundreds of yards, and it's landing right by the cage, and I can as soon as I throw it, it hits against a tree.
Well, that's what I thought about golf. I'm like, there's no like, you don't need to be like physically strong or like athletic to be a golfer. It's just hit the ball. No, it's not. It was not like that at all. Yeah. It is nowhere near like that easy to golf.
Yeah, you get inside your own head. You'll hit,
Oh yeah, and that's game over.
You'll flub it off the tee when you're driving, and then like, okay, now I gotta crank out, either.
Yeah, I'm like, just give me a 10. Just give me a 10. Don't count on it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go next hole.
But my favorite way to play golf is you go like 4 guys and you play best ball, and every once in a while I might have a nice highlight of a good drive or a decent mid-range shot, but like typically that's the best way I like to play. You're just kind of having fun, and you'll have your time will shine a little bit out there. But
see, I'll get on the green in 3 shots, but then I 3-putt. So it was like, oh well, it was all for nothing now, I guess. So, I mean, like, yeah, I'm hitting 6. And I'm like, well, the par was 4, so I'm already down now, and then it just keeps going and going and going. It's worse. And somehow we're shooting 100, and how do we get here?
But anyway, Gabe, yeah, thanks for catching up today. Hopefully you're doing yeah, and hopefully we'll see you on campus here in a couple weeks.
Well, definitely.
So yeah, enjoy the rest of the summer when you can, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.